Okay. So welcome to week 3, guys. And this is care calls. So this is all about utilizing your database, whether it's past clients, whatever, I guess, season you are in your business, whether you're just starting out or whether you are a seasoned realtor. Everybody has contacts in a sphere of influence, no matter who you are, no matter where you are, no matter what stage you're in. So I want to go through, I'm going to share my screen. Can you guys see that? Okay. So I'm going to post this in the group itself, but I actually took last year Keller Williams Bold, which was interesting from a title perspective to be and learn the things that realtors do. But having said all of that, we're all in sales, right? And we all have to do the same activities. So one of the most eye-opening things for me was when they went over database and how important it is to utilize your database, because there is so much opportunity there. There's so much opportunity there to build your business. And right now, honestly, guys, it is one of the easiest times, I think, in history to make that phone call that most people are scared to make on a regular basis, right? It's really weird to call your high school, you know, a friend that you've lost touch with for 20 years. If there's, you know, everybody has that, that anticipation and that anxiety of, what do I say to this person? But this right now is the opportune time for you to make that phone call, because everybody on the globe is really going through the same thing all at the same time, right? And this, you know, in our lifetime, this has never happened, right? So it is easy for you to go through your contacts and say, hey, it's Angela. I really was just thinking about you. Or, hey, listen, I'm sure like everybody else, you're at home and I'm going through my phone and I'm cleaning up my contacts and I saw you in there and you must be in there for a reason. And I just wanted to say hi, how are you and your family doing? These calls right now are not intended for you to go out there and say, are you looking to buy or sell real estate? I mean, that's not appropriate at the moment. And it may be later on down the road, but at the moment, we still have this small window of opportunity. Most of us have been home 6 to 8 weeks, right? And some of that opportunity is now starting to shift, and it's going away slowly, but it is going away because states are reopening. Things are, you know, slowly getting back to our new normal. I mean, not here in Broward and Miami and Palm Beach, but other parts of the country are opening. So we just have to be sensitive to the time as well for you to be able to make these phone calls, right? So most people are still at home. Most people, if their states are opening, they're still very limited in what they can and cannot do. This is still a very real pandemic that we have not seen the end of yet. So those phone calls need to happen like now. Like they really just need to happen now. And again, this script is really simple. You know, there's elaborate scripts for when you're calling and you're asking for business or you're asking for a referral, you know, and there's a time and place for that. But what I have seen in, you know, the gurus that are out there are really saying, just pick up the phone and say, hi, how are you doing through all of this, right? It is a super simple phone call to make, and something that is coming from a place of like, how, you know, really, I mean, this is the best time to say, how are you doing? You know, how are you doing? This has been crazy. And whatever conversation comes from that and whatever evolves from that, then so be it. But at least you've broken that ice and you've come from a place of contribution and a place from caring about people, and even saying, hey, listen, you know, if you need anything, please let me know. If I can be of any service, please let me know. Do you have enough groceries? Do you have enough toilet paper, right? I mean, if you score on toilet paper, maybe you say to your, hey, I have extra toilet. I mean, I know this sounds ridiculous, but like, this is where we're at right now, you know? Do you have, you know, do you need toilet paper? Because I've got 12 rolls. I just went to Costco and I scored big. So just wanted to check on you. And it's not that hard. It's really, really, really not that. Stacy Powell. Okay, so what I wanted to show you from this is something that I learned in bold. And when you see it on paper, it's actually like kind of eye-opening, right? So they go through this exercise of writing down and actually seeing on paper what opportunities you could have and what opportunities you are potentially missing from not tapping into your database. And your database means, guys, anybody that you have in there, whether it's your dentist, whether it's your, hairdresser. I mean, guys, check on your hairdresser. He or she is not working probably right now, right? We need them desperately. What can you do to help them? How are they doing, right? So database means anybody that you have a connection with, anybody that is in your contacts, whether it's a formal database and a CRM, or whether it's just your phone at this point. Look at the number of contacts you have. Let's just say, and I'm going to go through it. Let's just say it's 250, right? So this is the example. This is an average of what potential closing opportunities you have from your contacts is 6.4%, okay? So let's just say out of 250, you're talking 16. Potential referrals from those people, right? The people that are in your database, and let's just say eventually they're not looking or buying to sell a home, but they can refer you to someone that is, it's 10%. That's 25 people from the 250. So your total potential is B plus C. The 6.4 from the actual database, and then the 25 from the referral. So you've got 41 potential clients coming out of your database, okay? This is just an average number of closings from contacts in 2019. Number of referrals generated from your database is 5. Your number of missed opportunities is D, your potential, minus E, which is 12. Minus F, which is 5, and you get G. So you maybe missed, on the laws of average, you missed 2 opportunities. Your average commission is $7,000. So your potential opportunity was, missed opportunity was for an additional 14,000. And if you take D, your 41 potential contacts from your database and times it by an average of 7,000, you've got yourself $287,000 in income potential, right? Just from using what's right at your fingertips. And I'll post this, in the group so that you can do your own and just work with the numbers there. But that's a lot of money. That's a lot of money for something that you could be doing, not even leaving your house, which is exactly what you need for right now, right? You need something that you can do from your phone, not out and about, and this is an easy phone call to make. And again, doesn't necessarily have to be about real estate, and it shouldn't. It should just be a care call. How are you doing? How can I help you? What can I do for you? I'm here for you, okay? So one of the things that this is a 13-week cycle, I would almost say, speed it up for right now, because like I said, I think that window of opportunity where everybody's still home is starting to slowly diminish because, again, states are opening up. So you'll see the way it's broken up is between letters that are popular and then letters that are less popular, right? So that you're not bombarded. But let's just say week 1, you call A's and W's. Week 2, you call B's and E's, so on and so forth, so that you go through the whole alphabet in 13 weeks and then you start your cycle again. So every 26 weeks, you're touching somebody potentially, 4 times a year, right? If I do that math correctly. And what to say, and I just wrote it here, it's never been easier to make a phone call just because the pandemic has presented unique opportunities for you to call your database simply to check in on them and see how they are doing during the crisis. Doesn't have to be real estate related. In fact, it should not be. Show that you care, show that you're a resource, show them that you are there for them no matter what they need. And that may even be toilet paper, right? Or groceries or anything like that. So what I would like for you guys to do, is anybody, let me just ask you this, is anybody making those phone calls right now? Like really, really making phone calls to past clients, to friends and family, to their dentist, to their hair, their hair person, their nail person, whatever it may be. Is anybody really making those phone calls, like, honestly?
I actually sent some emails and text message, and we've been communicating with my sphere in Colorado. So I was working with a mentor from location, and again, trying to focus on the Colorado contacts I have. And a lot of them are mortgage brokers. So, you know, they responded pretty quickly, and hopefully, you know, we'll start kind of figuring out the branding part to the sphere in Colorado. So that's kind of where I've been starting, since that's the bulk of my contacts.
Gotcha. Anybody, I would say, Michelle, too, what about your phone? Like, take out your phone and literally start
I did reach out to a couple out here. The problem is my brand new computer bombed, so I'm on my Kindle right now. So it's not a good thing. So I've been messing with that, and it's not even opening up. So I can't even get the stuff off before shipping to it. So I've kind of wasted half a week just messing with that. So hopefully, what I'm going to do, I might have to do it old school. You know, I'm trying to separate my contacts, write them down, and then import them, you know, because I have over 1,400 contacts in my phone. So
yeah. Well, see, that's the thing, right? So you have 1,400 contacts on your phone, and I'm just saying, like, pick up your phone and like literally start calling. Like, I know there's a time and place for your CRM and all of that. Like, we all need that. You know, that's like a great thing to have, and everybody should have that. But I think right now, you know, what I've been hearing is that opportunity of people staying home and being home and wanting that connection is starting to slowly diminish, right?
Yep.
So, you know what I mean? Because I don't want to say we're not getting back to normal, because I don't know what the new normal looks like, but there are states opening up, right? Even north of us, North Florida is slowly opening. They're in phase 1, right? So even within our own state, people are able to go out and about. So some of the mindset has changed, you know what I mean? It may be too late to say, hey, how you doing? Can I ship you some wine at home? You know? So I would start with your phone and take notes, and then put it in later, you know?
Okay.
Melkies, what about you? Have you been making those phone calls yet?
Breakfast.
Are you eating breakfast on us?
Sorry. I broke up with a migraine today. That's why you don't see me all bubbly. But yeah, I've done texting, and I have been making phone calls. You know, I did change company recently to the EXP, so I was putting all the CRM and putting everybody in there as well. And just following up. Like, sometimes we have our contacts. When you do a search on the MLS, you enter the email address and the phone number of people that when you set it up. And I reached out to a couple of people that they've been opening the emails, but they haven't responded or anything like that. I did that as well. You know, again, it's just little things that you do throughout the day just to try to maintain in contact with.
Yeah.
Or, you know.
And I'm gonna say this too. I mean, as far as like emails, trust me, I try every which way, whether it's a text, whether it's an email, whether it's a file, whatever it is. But I have to tell you guys, like, and I know we all hate it, because people, you know, especially that we live in such a digital world, people don't like to pick up the phone. But I am finding that, honestly, like, I will call somebody, and one of the people I called recently said, you know, I don't usually pick up the phone, but I'm in the middle of a pandemic, so I figured I'd like to talk to a human. I mean, she literally said that to me, and I was like, oh, okay. So it's interesting. It's an interesting time where people do want that connection. So I think picking up the phone as opposed to maybe writing that email really will make a huge impact and make a big difference. I really, really do believe that.
Yeah.
So Avril, have you been making those phone calls, you know, before this call?
The calls I've been making were a little bit more fine-tuned and strategic, as opposed to just going through my my contacts the way Bold teaches.
Yeah.
I've specifically reached out to everybody who has ever mentioned in the past to me that they were interested in listing, getting a valuation, getting an offer on their home. I've kind of made calls and sent text messages out to those folks.
That's awesome. And what's the feedback been?
It's been warm enough. I mean, a lot of people are just watching and waiting. And I've always come from a place of, listen, I'm not here to tell you to sell. I'm just trying to ask you specifically if there's anything during this time that I can do to help you to understand what's going to happen later. Ask me, and I'll be able to bring some clarity to you.
That's amazing.
And actually, just 2 seconds ago, somebody who I had reached out to who told me, this COVID thing is freaking me out. I'm not sure what's going to happen. Call me in another 3 weeks. She literally just texted me and said, I know I told you to call me in a few weeks, but I think I'm going to sell now. Could you come over to my house when you're ready? And it's like, what? Not expected.
Not expected, but you know what? But you did the work, right? So you laid that groundwork of, I'm going to keep in touch, and I'm going to follow up, and I'm going to come from a place of, how can I be a resource? How can I help you? How can I help you navigate that? Especially if you're making the phone calls to people that have already expressed some type of interest in buying or selling, right? Because that makes sense. Then you're saying to them, you're coming from a place of like, hey, listen, I know it's crazy. Let me make this simple for you. Let me help you navigate through this, you know?
Yep, that's what it is.
No, that's brilliant. Avril, so I'm curious, what are you telling them as far as the market? What are you seeing what's your beat on the street?
My reassurance, well, there's 2 reassurances that I give, because I mostly do listings. So there's 2 reassurances that I give to my sellers. One, that they should not be too concerned about property values dropping very, very much compared to 2008, because this is not a housing issue. This is a health issue. And we still have limited inventory in South Florida. People still want to buy your house. I watch the market every single day. Homes are still selling. There's more houses coming on the market right now than people ready to buy. That will change as soon as people get their jobs back and people start house hunting. People always need new places to live. So be confident that I can get you the most money for your house. If that's your fear, lose that fear. Let's worry about the condition of your house and your mindset to sell. And you just reassure people that this is going to be okay.
I love it.
It is.
I love it, because you're coming from a place of being a resource, as being their trusted advisor through this pandemic. I love it. Congratulations on that.
Thank you. Thank you for what you're doing too.
Thank you. And Stacy, Miss Stacy Powell, how are you making those phone calls? Are you making those hard phone calls? Talk to me.
No, I'm not. I am so, and I'm not a shy person. I don't know what it is. I don't know. It's hard getting on the phone, like, hey. But what I have done in the past, and I think I need to work on it a little bit more, I put together like a nice little Canva picture, like, hey, you know, thinking about selling or buying with my picture. And, you know, and I sent out a mass text, because I'm really good with like doing little Canva graphics. And I sent out a mass text, and I got a lot of good responses like that. Like, oh, wow, okay, Stacey, I'll keep that in mind. But picking up the phone, no, I'm tough in that area.
So I'm going to challenge you this week to pick up the phone, because in 2 or 3 weeks from now, when this is over, you don't want to be the one that's like, hey, how'd you go through COVID? You know, we came out on the other side. How was it? Right? You want to be that person that cares about them now. Right? And Stacey, it has never been an easier time to make that phone call. Hey, how you doing? How's this quarantine crap going on? Right? Like, how you navigating it? It has never been easier to make that phone call. So I'm going to challenge you to make at least 5 phone calls, and maybe 10. I might stretch you, but let's start with 5 by next Tuesday. That literally are just, I was thinking about you. How's everything going? How's homeschooling the kids going? Whatever it is, right?
Okay,
because
I can do that.
Those mass texts, you know, can work for certain things, but I really think that right now humans are craving. They're craving to hear from somebody that you know, if they already see you as an authority in the industry, and they see you out there, and they see, you know, I know your graphics, and they're very well put together, and they see you as an influencer and an industry leader, then making that extra phone call where you're actually touching them, I think will make a huge shift in your business.
Can I say something also?
Yes.
Stacey, I can tell you personally from somebody who has a social media presence myself on Facebook, You have some very, very good prospects on your page. I saw your lives. I see your page. You get the kind of responses that I dream of getting, because most of my people are not local and they're not interactive and they're not buying real estate right now. You seem to have some very inquisitive followers and some people who are right at the tip of being ready to buy, but they just need some questions answered. You have a gold mine of people, and the phone calls are the only thing I think you need to do to kind of draw even those social media folks in. You have a beautiful following.
Agreed, 100%.
Thank you. Okay, you know what? Let's do it. I'm sorry.
You're crazy, girl. No, but seriously, this is what this group is about, right? It's the feedback from everybody else in the industry and just bridging the little, tweaking things so that you can have, just ignite that fire and just turn that faucet on and get those clients in the door. Because Stacey, you're brave enough to go live on Facebook all the time. Now it's time to convert them into those phone calls. Take that extra step.
Yeah, all right. You're right. Let's do it. I'm challenging myself. I can do it.
Okay, I'm gonna follow up with you for sure.
Thanks, ladies.
So yeah, I mean, guys, I was gonna keep this super short and sweet, because I think the database, like I said, it's very important. It's something that I think, obviously some of you are doing and some of us can tweak. I mean, myself included, right? Like I hate making phone calls, and I hate, because you were all fearful of that rejection. And my husband is sitting 10 feet from me and he wants to beat me over the head with a frying pan because he's like, just make the phone call. I'm like, but what if this, what if that? And you know what? It never goes as bad as I've made it up in my head, right? Like we make these things up in our head, and honestly, I've only had one phone call out of probably, 5,000 that has ever turned sideways. And, so I challenge you all to make those phone calls, just check in on people, be human, be somebody that they can trust, whether it's in business or just in life, and get out there and make those phone calls. So anybody have anything else to add? Any questions, anything that you're seeing in the industry that you want to share or ask your other colleagues on here about? Silence. Silence. Anything that you guys need from me, anything that I could be bringing to the table, bringing to you guys that you need, that I can help you with?
I have a question for you, Angela.
Who's that? Avril?
Yeah, this is me. So early in real estate, I was told, and I haven't had this experience so far, that title companies are able to compile lists of names and numbers that agents should be able to get from them to make calls to specific types of homeowners. Is that something that you've done or your office has the capability to do based on somebody's zip code or farm? Help us with farming is what we're told that title companies can do.
Yes. So the answer to that is yes, I can help you with farming. We have 2 different tools that we use that I can build a list from. I will tell you this, the only drawback from it is that it does not have phone numbers, which is what everybody wants. But there's a workaround that so that I can figure that out for you. But what I tell my clients is that if you want to farm an area, I want the data that comes out of this tool that I have is only as good as the inputs I put in, right? So if you want somebody in a particular zip code that bought their house at a certain time and has X amount of equity or whatever it is, right? If you give me those inputs, then I will be able to bring you a list that is very specific and does exactly, Remine is exactly, that does exactly what you want it to do. Now, Melky's put in here Remine. That's part of you have access to Remine, which is an MLS tool. Broward, if you're part of the Broward board, you have access to just the light version, right? You can't do certain things. But I just saw that if you are part of the Miami board, yes, you have Remine Pro, right? So honestly, Avril, I'm going to tell you this. Remine Pro is probably going to give you better information than I probably can get for you, because I'm not going to have access to the numbers. But what we can do with that information is where I can step in and we can then co-market, you know, a flyer or something else that you want to do through a system called CoreFact. I have access to CoreFact, and what it does, CoreFact actually puts together, we can upload that list, right? We can upload the list to CoreFact, and we can design our own little flyer. We can co-brand it, and every CoreFact flyer has like a little scanner code, right? Like it has an ID for each particular property, and it has a little code where you can scan. And the homeowner will get it, will get the little postcard, and they can literally go online onto a website, type in the code, and it will give them an accurate CMA. And then it's linked to you. So if they log in, you're gonna get an email that they've logged in using that code. So I would really honestly suggest, I'm gonna be very honest, Remine is probably the better place to get that farm. Once you have that, then let's talk, and then we can collaborate on that part. Does that make sense? Melky's saying yes. And also, Bill Risser, who is our Vice President of Digital Strategy, he does a Remine Pro class all the time. So I'm going to tell you when the next one is, because if you want to learn Remine, he's excellent at teaching it. Let me see, what is he teaching Remine? Oh, it's actually right now at 10 o'clock. I will get you the next Remine overview that he's doing, because he teaches it really well, and he teaches it really simple. And he has access to the full version, so he can actually show you how to use that full version, which I know a lot of us down in this area hasn't had up until a couple days ago. Melky, are you part of the Miami board?
Yes, I'm in the Miami one.
Okay, so then you have the Pro 2 now.
Yeah, I heard that. I got it, and there was some advertisement about all that. They have videos. They have a lot of videos. I remember I did the schooling for it, but it was the limited one. So
yep.
I'm looking forward to using the Pro on that.
Yeah, no, the Pro is like ridiculous. And so that's a great place to do your farming. And the other thing, guys, too, I mean, you guys are experienced realtors, but the farming, I mean, the last one I did for one of my clients, honestly, I think we sent out like 200, you know, because if you give somebody a list of like 3,000 homes, you're just going to get overwhelmed, and then you're not going to do it, and then it's not going to be cost effective. So, you know, keep them to 300, kind of 300-ish. That's the area that's like the sweet spot, seems to be like that 300 area where you know you can tackle it.
I have a farm area that I actually targeted, and I was like sending monthly, you know, market updates, but then this happened. So it kind of just, yeah, it's, and then I have some phone numbers. There was a FSBO there that I contacted, and I was, you know, started marketing that area. So if I have the area already that I like, do I email this to you so we kind of co-market something together? Yeah,
hold on. I'm going to share my screen because I actually want to show you. CoreFact, I love them. They do such a good job of, let me share my screen. They do such a good job of just having like really like great content, right? So this is it right here. So you could do all this, just sold. Do you see, let me click into something. So for example, you can get, look, inventory is low. Sellers are getting over asking price, right? And then every single one has this code, right? That they go and they type in their code, and it gives them, see this, enter key code, right? It gives them, you know, a price. Right now, they actually have done, do you see this? All these COVID. It's like all their branding is really up to date, and I love it. We're all in this together, right? Things are constantly changing. Some of these are really, really cute. What remains the same is our dedication to getting through those changes together. Reach out, I'm here, right? So even Melky's, if you want, you know, to do that for your, the sphere that you, the farm area that you've been already marketing to, like this would be great to say, hey, I'm here, I'm still here, and we're in this together, you know? So this is what I use. So essentially I upload it and, you know, we can co-brand that together.
And I wanted to mention that today, the Bold virtual, like I know I'm not with KW, but they sent me a Bold virtual, like whole month, like 4-week class that they're doing.
Yeah.
And it's for $99, and normally it was like $8.99. So that was pretty interesting. I don't know if, I know it starts today. If anybody wants, I can send you the link.
It starts at 2 o'clock. And I actually am going to register for it.
Yay! Okay, we could like be on it together. I think
Yeah,
team.
yeah. And
What is it, Angela?
It's called Bold Pivot. So Keller Williams has this training called Bold. I actually took Bold. It's like 9 weeks of craziness, right? But it's in person and it was live and it's the whole thing, right? You have to show up and it's a whole day thing for 9 weeks. This is called Bold Pivot. So if you just Google Bold Pivot, you'll see there's a link that it starts today. It's $99. And so what they're going through right now is how do real estate agents pivot in this market? And it's all based on, you know, the Keller Williams principles, which, you know, whether you're Keller Williams or not, everybody can use the basics, right? But they go through like, how do we pivot through this? I actually just got off the phone with one of my clients who is Keller Williams. You guys know her, Sharon. She's on here, I think the first week. She's actually taking it and she said the inside scoop is that it's supposed to be really amazing. So for $99 when it's usually almost $900, I think it's well worth it.
Hold on, I'll send, I'm logging into like the email to see if I could put it in the notes. You're leaving? Love you, baby. Okay, hold on.
Yeah, if you want, what I can do is I can post the link in the group too, because I just had it up.
So that's the schedule.
Oh, there you go, perfect.
Hold on, that's the schedule. I'm working on finding the, because it's pretty good. It starts today, so I just want to show you like the, here. Yeah, maybe if I do this.
Hold on a second. I had it up, I literally had it up on my screen. So it's just, yeah, bold, just Bold Pivot, and then you, like I said, it's a live stream event. Duration is 4 weeks, and then it's all live stream. I think they're live streaming it on Facebook, is what she told me.
Yeah.
I guess in a
group. Yeah, and they have
meeting.
like a Facebook group. So yeah. There's a Facebook group that, you know, it's gonna be in. You also have like I think I love what I put with the calendar. But it's you know, I'm not with them, but I'm anything that I could do right now to get better and improve and all that good stuff, I'm going to do it. So
yeah, I actually had my Bold binder out because a lot of this
yeah.
It was intense and it's amazing. I mean, it applies to everybody. You know, obviously the scripts didn't apply to me, but I just changed them to different scripts. But
yeah.
I have
they're gonna go over scripts, and they said they're gonna go. You know, they have like they're gonna provide something similar to the Bold binder, like just so you could download it and type it up, and you don't have to print it or anything like that. So I thought
yeah, awesome. Well, I'm gonna see you in there later.
Yeah, sounds good.
I did sign up for ePro, like you said last week. I did sign up for that and a couple other NAR programs. So, but got to get a computer, so I'm trying to figure all that out.
Well, the ePro, you could do it on your tablet too, because I did it on my tablet.
Okay.
And it's really good. Like, just even if you don't get the certification, why not? It's only $79 versus the $159 price or $149 price. It's still good because of the information that you get. I just finished it yesterday, and it's definitely worth it.
Okay, great.
And it's free.
Well, ladies, I love you. I am so proud of you all. Thank you for showing up. And, you know, reach out to me with anything, Avril and Melky's, if you need, if you want to talk to me about CoreFact, let's do it. I'm happy to help you. We can work on that. We can design the little flyers together. And I will see you guys next.
Bye. Thank you so much for having us.
All right, thanks, Angela. Bye, everybody.
Talk to you soon. Bye.
Bye.